So this is my 2008 Toyota RAV4. Purpose of this video is the Florida sun has deteriorated all the weather stripping on the outside here. I've been gluing it back on and stuff like that, but it's in really bad shape all the way around. And I'll go to the passenger side, and it's not even working anymore. And so with a lot of research, I was able to find the right part numbers and stuff like that so I can replace it. And there's not a lot of videos on the internet about this, and it's very difficult for me to find the part numbers. So what do you even call that part? It's hard to figure out. And so anyway, so in the automotive industry, it's called a window sweep or a belt molding, like the belt on your waist, B-E-L-T, belt molding. And I'm sure this applies to a few years for this generation. But I wanted to get you the part numbers. So the part numbers for this, it's been superseded, I think, 3 times. So it's now 7530, 75730, 75740, 75710, 75720. All ending in 0R01111. And today in 2020, you're looking about 40 bucks for the rear, 30 bucks for the front. I can't tell you where I got it from, but it's right there. You just Google and just buy from wherever you want to get it from, or drive to your local Toyota dealership. So anyways, it's about $150, and you'll have all 4. It's expensive, but it is what it is. And I'm gonna show you how to replace these things. It doesn't come with any directions. So I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do it. And what you start with is, once you've got it all of them laid out, and you make sure that they're the proper fit. I laid them all on top of the car. Is what we're going to go after is these little clips on the ends. All right. So you lay it up on top of the old one, and you put blue tape down to protect the paint, and you mark where the clips are at with a black Sharpie, okay? And then we're gonna go to the next circle back on the clips. Doing a test one here. When this one broke free on me, it came up and my little plastic tool scratched the paint on this. So I've gone back and I've put blue tape on the top 2, just in case I have a violent thing with the tool, to help protect the paint. Once that clip is loose here, it's just being held in with pressure along here, and it's underneath this mirror a little bit. I found you kind of have to break it. I'm grabbing this and I'm pulling it towards me is the trick. And it'll unclip itself. And then you're at a point where you can just kind of slide, and there you go, all done. And what I'll do next is I'll clean this area real good, and then I'll reapply it. I'm gonna work on removing the other ones. The thing to note here is the reason I was having problems because my plastic tool is pretty wide, and there's this metal flange right here, and the clip goes in this little hole right here. So I was pushing like this. I needed something skinnier to kind of hit it right where that clip is at. So that's why it was taking me a little bit of time to break free. So just remember where that clip is at. You want to be clips free. You need a plastic trim removal tool. Is the best thing to use. You can get these kits real cheap on Amazon. I was using this one because it's really stiff and strong. Here's some skinnier ones. This one's a little bit stiffer than this one here, so I'll probably try this one next. Just got pushed in there. More than likely that clip is going to break on you. I got this tool here. I know there's a metal flange right here, but basically what you got to do is you got to push the tool in there to release that clip, then try and get an upward motion going. And, well, that worked. I will tell you the clip did break and it did fall down in the hole. Oh well, probably not the best way, but at least it's off. And then I gotta break. I need to get this window down all the way. I didn't realize it didn't go all the way down. Well, same thing. It seems to be always stick really tight right here. This is plastic. It's not metal like I thought it was. Best thing to do is just manhandle it until it breaks free, to be honest with you. And you're gonna just drive yourself nuts trying to unclip it. Just break it up And then once it's loose, you know, just work on pulling it out. Because it will, after being heat loaded on all those years, it's pretty darn tight. Pop the last one out. This one was so rotted. Both the plastic clips fell off and stayed in the car door. So it's, you know, I'm gonna have to get these pulled out now. But if that happens, just make sure you clear them out before you install the new ones. So if the clips are in there, it's the same thing. You gotta release that pressure right there. So if it is stuck in there, all you gotta do is push to get that clip in and then lift up, and it'll come right out. Sucks. As you can tell, I'm not a mechanic. So one thing I decided to do is I took my good LED flashlight and decided to look down here just to make sure there's nothing weird or obstructions. And sure enough, this weather strip on the passenger side up front, half of it broke loose when I removed it, and I can see it stuck on the track and down there. You can see it. It's down here. There's a long piece of rubber stuck in between the door now. So I gotta get down in there and grab that out before I close this up. But so what I did was I compared this weather strip into the one on the other side, and I realized it was much thinner and lighter, and something must be amiss. So I decided to check all 4 doors. So I definitely got to get that strip out of there. The process, but I own one of these claw things from Harbor Freight Tools, and I just reached down there and put the claw on it, and now I just gotta carefully work its way up. Oh, there you go. And now the piece that fell inside is out of the car. But this is a handy tool to have in a pinch for drop parts. You just squeeze the end here, and a little claw comes out, and you can grab stuff that's fallen. So this saved me a lot of work and didn't have to take the door apart. It only took 2 seconds. All the areas where that new pieces are going to go, I just used multi-purpose cleaner, microfiber towel. There was a couple areas where Toyota rubber had kind of gooed onto the paint and wasn't coming off, so I did use a little bit of goof off in a couple spots very lightly to not damage the paint, and got that off. Since it's easier to do off, I'm going to go ahead and put some vinyl rubber protectant on all the pieces while it's off the car with a rag. This is the best stuff. It's hard to find. That's why I order it from that A to Z store on the internet. But this is the best stuff you can use, in my opinion. Got SPF of 40, and you can put in all your plastic and rubber trim. So I'm just going to spray it on there, and then I'm going to install it. We're all cleaned up and polished and UV protected. I couldn't find my non-marring hammer. I don't think I'm going to need it. I found a rubber mallet. I mean, a plastic mallet. But if you do need to hit it, you're going to use. You don't want to use a regular hammer. But obviously, you got to get this metal flange to go in this little gap right in here. And this piece you got to start, and you got to tuck it in, and then you got to tuck it in that little hole before you start pushing it down. Now, obviously, this clip needs to line up with that hole. And everything looks really good, so I'm just gonna start pushing it down. Okay. Well, that was easy. But, I think we're gonna be okay. Yep, that's good as new. Yeah, let's try this one here. Here we got a clip on both ends. So make sure they line up. Yep, they line up good. You can buy these sometimes generically for significantly less money, but I've been told that they don't fit. That this slot right here is off and it's useless. So just kind of keep that in mind. I do recommend in this situation a factory part while it's still available. And I don't need a hammer. This thing just slid right in. It's all good. And got this one here. Got this one here. Make sure it's nice and lined up in the middle, right here at this point here. So if it's lined up nicely right there, you can probably start pushing it down. Just work from one end to the other. You'll be fine. All right, and we got one here. Again, you want to get in the track and get it in the slot there. And then make sure it lines up down there. And here we go. Pushing it down. And there we go. Yeah, that's good. Then obviously put the window, we're basically done. Put the window, take the blue tape off, put the windows up and down, make sure everything's moving smoothly. And you get another 10 years out of this sucker. But significant improvement, that's for sure, from that old rotted stuff. I will warn you, I didn't buy it, but these weather strips here on the windshield, they are both severely rotted too, and all the edge seals are missing. I did not buy these pieces yet. But I may in the future. But if you're more than likely, if these are bad for you, these are probably bad also, and you might want to buy them at the same time. Did my window test. All worked fine except for the rear right door. You can see, as soon as when I raised the window, this plopped up. It didn't seat right. So I'm gonna figure out what went on with that and try and get that fixed. So definitely, you know, stand by each door one at a time and do the up close and watch the weather stripping. And I saw it pop up and I realized it's loose. So I figured out it kind of needs to clip over that metal lip. And so it's kind of hard to describe, but I just kind of gave it a push forward right here and I felt it clip in. And so there's nothing wrong with it. It just wasn't clipped over that lip correctly. It just clipped in, I just felt it. So you want to kind of push forward like this and down and work it down, and that should lock it into the track correctly. Let's see here. Up, down. Oh, it's a nice, yep, it's fixed. Look how nice and tight that weather stripping is now. You can't even see a gap now. And it's really nice. All right, so I just want to show you that. Just make sure you kind of roll it in. Make sure it's in all the way.